entertainment radio station 107.3 Darling FM. Hello and welcome to the World News. I am Chidera. Rosecamille, Aneke. Here are the headlines. NAFDAC insists that AstraZeneca vaccine has no side effects. The students of Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Kaduna State regains freedom. President Biden urges Americans to stop attacking Asians over COVID-19. Details shortly. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says the AstraZeneca vaccine recently inaugurated and distributed to states to treat COVID-19 has no side effects. This was disclosed by the Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye. Adeyeye, who stated this in Abuja shortly after she got vaccinated, said that NAFDAC went through the application dossier of the vaccine before it was approved to be administered on Nigerians for the treatment of COVID-19. She said the effectiveness of AstraZeneca vaccine outweighed the risk that it has already been scrutinized. She noted that there was no medicine without side effects, especially when still going through the developmental stage. The Director General said from all indications of quality and efficacy, the benefit of AstraZeneca vaccine outweighs the risk and the side effects. The NAFDAC boss disclosed that the federal government has arranged for a research and development scheme for the health sector, adding that a lot of herbal medicine were going to be used for the testing. Imo State government is set to launch its first indigenous cup measure in the state to regulate the shortchanging of products by traders. Director General of the Consumer Protection Commission, Honorable Obioma Ukafo, disclosed this to journalists in Owerri ahead of the World Consumers Day, which is celebrated on the 15th of March every year.
Also to launch the first indigenous cup measure in Imo State. Because of his shared prosperity that every Imolite should be carried along, the first mandate he gave me is to make sure that no Imolite is shortchanged. And when we talk about shortchange, we all know the prevalence in the market. We all know how you go to the market, you want to buy 1 cup of rice. They will tell you to your face, do you want the original or the fake? The measuring cup will be uniform. So if you're buying 1 cup of rice, you're sure you're buying 1 cup. Nobody will now ask you, do you want the original or the fake? And he's going to be the first governor in Nigeria that is going to do this. He will be the first governor that is launching the indigenous cup measure. It is called standard measure. And for you to get to this point, you have to get an approval from the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment through the weight and measure.
She reiterated that the Commission would continue with the power bestowed on them by the Constitution to protect the rights of consumers in the state.
It's our mandate to make sure that Imo State, no shop, no supermarket, display goods that are adulterated. And that is why we do routine check, we do surveillance, we do enforcement. It is out of enforcement that all these very expensive drinks were picked out from. People display it in their shop and they sell it to Imo. We'll have like a whole store that is filled up with adulterated fake products. And immediately after our World Consumer Rights Day, we are going to burn them. We've done that when I first came. Because the mandate is whenever you take expired goods out of the shelves, you have to let them sit for 6 months first before you destroy them.
The CPCDG noted that the Commission is saddled with the responsibility of protecting and promoting public health through information, education, and enforcement of the relevant rules and regulations to ensure food safety. Following the recent release of a white paper by Imo State government on land matters, former lawmakers of the Imo State House of Assembly have urged the Imo State government to implement the latter, the recommendation of the white paper. Addressing newsmen at the NUJ Secretariat, chairman of the group of former lawmakers, Honorable Aneke, says to forestall the dissipation of the Commonwealth of Imo, those found wanting should be prosecuted.
As former lawmakers of Imo State, we followed closely all the processes leading up to the release of the white paper on the inquiry on land matters. and the executive implementation actions of the recommendations of the panel. We are also mindful that the government has the overall interests of the generality of Imo people at heart. Therefore, we do not hesitate in giving the government full support in recovering government and Imo people's properties, either illegally or wrongfully acquired by officials of past administrations. The era of unbridled and wanton dissipation of Commonwealth of Imo people and its people should be consigned to the dustbin of history. These actions of the current government in recovering the people's assets should serve as a pointer for purposeful governance.
The group also commended the efforts of Governor Hope Uzodimma in the last 1 year, especially in the area of road infrastructure and development.
It is gratifying to note that the government is attacking progressively the enormous challenges of providing solid infrastructure projects across the state. And we are pleased at the level and quality of road constructions going on across the state. It is noteworthy that not only has the Uzodimma administration completed many of the road projects initiated by the past administration, it has also embarked on and indeed vigorously pursued many new legacy infrastructure projects across the state, including the once intractable drainage problem in the Owerri Capital Territory.
The former lawmakers urged Imo citizens to embrace peace and support the present administration under Governor Hope Uzodimma and his shared prosperity mantra. Following the inability to issue the certificate of return to the winner of Okigwe December 5th, 2020 senatorial by-election, a coalition of Imo youths from Christian Support Network and Imo Hope Alive movement has questioned Aneke on the release of the certificate of return to the winner. The youth stormed Aneke office at Port Harcourt Road to demand explanation on why the certificate of return has not been issued to the APC candidate Frank Ibezim. Spokesperson for the group, Comrade Franklin Nwanaya, described the Okigwe senatorial by-election as an albatross on this side of the Okigwe
issue in Okigwe Senatorial District. And up till now, the WAEC has not made any statement. And that means they've not been approached. So I don't know why this issue should be a problem. And since the death of the former senator, late Benjamin Wajumu, the region have suffered from state, federal government. In fact, it's overdue. So what we are saying is, INEC should just come out and do the needful. So Frank Ibezim happens to be allowed to go to the Senate, and so that he can represent his people one way or the other. I think the INEC is the body that has been assigned to issue this. They are actually responsible for that. They are independent. They should actually act independent organization.
Also, Malu Marcelinus, who added that the electoral umpire should lead investigations into any discrepancy involving any candidate, especially academic documentation.
Comes out in terms of name is INEC just for him to go and verify whether these things names are they the same person or they having issues or whatever, because it seems that INEC is being biased about this issue. Because if they really want to know the name, they should go for the right source and they get all the necessary evidence they need. The party have already said that the candidate of the election is Frank Ibezim. Yes, okay, when people are already complaining and worried about this particular issue, because this is almost a decade they don't have a representative at the Senate House. So it means that the lack of amenities will come. There will not be job employment for them. There will not be so many lack of amenities.
Recall that the senatorial by-election was declared inconclusive and INEC has not given certificate of return to any candidate. Kaduna State government says 180 citizens, many of whom were students of Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka, a Gabi local government area of Kaduna State, have been rescued by the troops of the Nigerian Army in the early hours of today. Kaduna State Commissioner, Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruon, while explaining the situation of the kidnapped students in a statement, said the armed bandits broke into the institution by breaching a perimeter fence and encroached about 600 meters to attack the first facility. According to the statement, the troops successfully rescued 180 citizens, making up 42 female students 8 staff and 130 male students. The statement said that presently about 30 students, a mix of males and females, are yet to be accounted for. It said some of the rescued students were injured and presently receiving medical attention at a military facility. Receiving the report, Governor Nasser El-Rufai thanks the troops for their swift response and rescue of the 180 citizens, wishing the injured students a speedy recovery. This is 107.3 Darling FM Owerri. If you are just joining us, you're listening to the world news. In the news, NAFDAC insists that AstraZeneca vaccine has no side effects. Students of Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Kaduna State regains freedom. Still to come, President Biden urges Americans to stop attacking Asians over COVID-19. Still ahead is business. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Thank you for staying with us here on 107.3 Darling FM. Now to the foreign scene. President Joe Biden has appealed to Americans to stop hate crimes and harassment against Asian Americans. The president, who made this during a speech to mark the first year of the pandemic, said the conduct is un-American and must be stopped. Biden spoke hours after he signed a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 stimulus bill into law. He said if Americans pulled together, there could be a greater sense of normalcy. The U.S. Independence Day holiday on July 4th, I beg your pardon. Biden told U.S. states to make all adults eligible for a coronavirus vaccine by May 1st and also urged Americans to stay vigilant or face more restrictions. Donald Trump triggered the attacks after he labeled the COVID-19 disease as the China virus. In business, Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency has deleted an earlier published template announcing that the new price of petrol has reached 212.6 naira per litre. The deletion came hours after the agency published the template on its website and after the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation insisted that there was no increment in the ex-depot price of petrol. The ex-depot price is the price at which the product is sold by the NNPC to marketers at the depot. According to the now deleted template, which the PPPRA released midnight, petrol is expected to sell at a lower retail price of 209.61 naira and at an upper retail price of 212.61 naira. Meanwhile, Nigerian marketers usually use the upper band for pump price. And that's the world news as produced by Ezine Glory Alazie. You can reach our news desk for coverage and eyewitness report on 0818 732 5104 or send an email to darlingfmnews@gmail.com. You can also listen to Darling FM from anywhere in the world. Go to www.darlingfm.ng and click to listen. Stay safe and don't forget to use a face mask if you must go out. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, and Aneke. A news update is at 5.